Hey guys, how you doing? This is my fifth vlog for my training series, and what you are about to see is my first week of maintenance block. I will talk about this block more as we go along, so just sit back and enjoy the video. So starting off with my day one for my first maintenance block, the weight here for the squats, and basically today it's my heaviest squat day, but it's not as heavy as my previous block because as the block has mentioned, it's maintenance. We are not gonna do that much heavy. I'm just gonna focus more on the technique and the execution of each lift while getting my body to recover and get my mental and my mind to be sort of recovered and be ready for the next push block again. So this whole block will be pretty chilled for me, and this is my top set at 240 kg. If I remembered it correctly, I did not have any other warm-ups before this weight other than the 170, so I suffered the consequences of a much tougher rep, as you can see here. Yes, but nevertheless the weight felt pretty easy even though it looks hard, and yep, I've learned my lesson and I want to make sure I do it correctly and properly for the next week. And here we go, this is our back off set at 210 kilos. I'm just gonna work at four sets of 4 just to maintain that volume a bit, and my focus is basically just to maintain a good torso while I execute and move my legs. And the weird thing about doing a maintenance block is well, I think it's more of a psychological thing. So when you know the weight is light, you start to neglect a lot of mental aspect towards training. You tend to be more chilled and more laid back, and hence when I was doing my 210, even though it looked easy, but actually felt a little bit hard, and seriously I started to wonder again how the hell did I do 225 for 5 reps the last block. But anyway, I'll just take it and do my training day by day. And well, this week the day one wasn't that great, but on the next week I will try to excel and do better. So this is how it goes, man. Training is always like that. There will be up and downs, so just gonna focus on what I can do and focus on doing better each time. So this is my back off set of bench, I believe. If not, this is my top set. Working with a different bench here. This is a ER rack. Usually I bench with a Eleco rack, but my thought process is this: by using different racks, I can get to expose to different heights and different setup, and come to a conclusion on which are the things that I have to keep. For example, I need to make sure that I have a high thoracic extension, and that's the most important thing. What changes is the leg drive and where I position my legs. And this is my last few sets and last few reps of my back off sets. At 145, it moved pretty easy, elbow is in the perfect position, so all good. Getting ready for my day 2. So day 2 is here. What you're looking at is a slightly different layout and program template for my bench press. I played around a little bit during my maintenance block to see if it is doable for my push block. So what I've planned for day 2 is 3 count pulse benched, just for a little bit of recovery before my heaviest bench on day 3. And here comes the deadlift. So as you can see in a very different view here, I'm deadlifting in a different platform, and this is my 290 singles. But to tell you the truth, what happened was I did a 120 warm up and then 270 with straps, and I did a 290 with a hook grip, and I failed because one, I'm uncomfortable with this platform. It's a little bit slanted to one side, and 2, it's been a while since I practiced hook grip. So after that I decided, okay, from next week onwards I'm gonna start hooking again for my top set. And believe it or not, for my deadlifts that day, because of the platform, one side is a little bit uneven. I kind of injured my back a little bit, so on day 3 I paid a lot of attention and I was super cautious about each of my lifts. So this is my top set. So you know what happens whenever we squat and be too overly cautious rather than just being a little bit more aggressive and think less. The execution starts to get a little bit more heavier. Even though it's 210 kg, it's not very heavy. I paid a lot of attention and make sure that my back is okay. So I had 1 day of rest before going to day 3, so I took that rest day to roll out my glutes a lot and make sure my back is ready, and doing my pre-warm-ups before my squat session. If you guys wonder what I do for my pre-warm-ups before I get to the bar, do check out my previous episode. So this is my back offset. Eventually it starts to get better, and then I believe what you're about to see here, it's a combined set. So this is one of my bad habits. When I start to get bored of training, I want to combine all my sets if I can. So this is 8 reps of 205 kg. So I'll just let you guys enjoy it. 3, 4. Yep. Catching my breath here because it starts to get a little bit heavy. 7, and one last one. Yes, execution wise is pretty okay. A little bit of hips moving backwards, but I will take it because, you know, I'm going through this trying to finish my workout and, you know, get over it for training, because day 3 is usually my main concern is the bench, and this is my 170. I'm really happy about this because this is one of the most smoothest bench at 170 and at 170 kg I've ever done as a U74. So it's been a while since I felt that way, so all the hard work previously, or the focus I had for my bench press is finally paying off. And what I've planned for is 6 sets of 3 or 152.5. The reason being is I want to be more exposed and get used to benching with a heavier weights, because at a lighter weight it's so easy for me and it starts to get challenging when it goes heavy. So I prescribe a lot more sets for myself so as to understand how it should feel when I do heavy bench. So back to day 4, my last training day for the week. I plan touch and go for my bench just to get more hypertrophy, get my chest pumped and triceps, grow some more muscles, and at the same time understand and feel the tightness at the bottom and create that slight stretch reflex and push right away. So this is my back off set. To be honest, my last day, all I want to do is same thing every time. It is day 3 and 4 when the weights are not as heavy. I would like to finish it as fast as possible. So actually I completed day 3 and 4 about 1 hour or 1 hour and 15 minutes for each session. Usually for day 1 and 2 I would take about 1 hour 45. So yeah, no excuses. If you guys are spending a lot of time in the gym, like 3 to 4 hours, maybe you need to think about how much time you give yourself for the rest. You don't need that much rest. We are powerlifters. We actually work out for a reason, trying to stay healthy and keep fit. So don't take being a powerlifter as an excuse to rest as long as you want. You are not being productive here. So alright, so there you go. This is basically my week 1, pretty chilled, and what I'm hoping and aiming for was just to improve my efficiency of each lift, and that's why the weight is slightly lighter than the previous block. So this is my approach. I like to have a chill block and then a more tough block so that I can have a bit of a mental break as I go along each phase. Sometimes if I travel to visit my girlfriend who is living in Hong Kong, if I get the chance to actually go there right now, it will be the best time because I'm not gonna lift very heavy weights. So when I train in different gyms, I'm not gonna intimidate too many people or destroy their equipments. Whereas if I'm back home, I can then push a more tough block so that, you know, it's my item and I'm not afraid and I know how to handle, and basically training in my own gym is definitely more comfortable. So yeah, one of the things that you guys want to consider is when competition is approaching, you might want to try to train in an environment where all the powerlifters are training with the correct mindset. So definitely I would recommend, if you are in Singapore, I would recommend to come to Elevate the Barbell Club to train with the best equipment you can find in Singapore. All the competition grade equipments with some just calibrated metal plates. Yep, I hope you guys are looking forward to the next week, and I'll see you again. Goodbye.